Oops.
It's on.
Good afternoon. Today is Monday, May 19th, 2025. It's 2 p.m., and this will be the beginning of the Land Bank Committee meeting. If we could call a roll for attendance, please.
Colleen Gilson.
Here.
Stuart Hastings.
Here.
Jared Oliver.
Here.
John Orzak.
Here.
Steve Pajali.
Here.
Great. I do want to mention that we do have some guests in the audience. We have Sue Doherty from Serving Our Seniors and Amy Bauman-Moore from Serving Our Seniors as well. They are here in case there's any questions regarding item number 3, but when we get to that, they're definitely here to answer any questions if there are any. Okay, the first thing that we discuss is approval of the meeting minutes from 3/17/2025. I believe everybody got a copy of those in the packet. Is there any discussion necessary, or do we want to ask any questions, any clarification on those, or approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. And if there's no discussion, we will call the roll on that motion.
Steve Pajali.
Yes.
John Orzak.
Yes.
Jared Oliver.
Yes.
Stuart Hastings.
Yes.
Colleen Gilson.
Yes.
All right, those will be approved. And the first item for business, it's actually for old business. We had come the last meeting to discuss the Pipe Street disposition. And since then, we've got some purchase agreements we got them ready. Then people changed their minds, which is totally fine. We want to make sure that we get the most accurate. I do see on the screen that when I converted this to PowerPoint, it did kind of change things a little bit. But there are going to be only 4 property splits now, 4 people receiving this parcel. So you can see number 5 is on the left towards the bottom, is going to receive some to the back of him and to the side. Basically, it's mostly wooded, so we're thankful that he's going to agree to take that. And then the larger portion above him is supposed to be labeled number 6, and that is going to go to Mr. John O'Brien. He's willing to take and maintain all of that property. Number 8 we'll take the next portion, which is kind of the middle portion, and I think there is an 8 on that one. And then number 12 will take everything to the other side. So those are the 4 people that are willing to split up this property and purchase for $200 per spot that they're taking, plus the cost to combine with their parcel, which adds a little bit of an expense, but they've all agreed to that. So I don't believe there's any vote necessary. If there is, I'd be glad to. Okay, all right. This is just an update of what is going to be presented to City Commission.
Debbie, I just wanted to, again, thank you for the hard work that you've done in working with all of the neighbors in the area. Everyone had the chance to purchase and or refuse, and it was, let's call it a labor of love of yours. And so congratulations. It's a good win for the city. We'll no longer have to mow this land, but also a win for the neighbors being able to expand their yards.
All right. On to the next item on the agenda. This is also old business. We had a gentleman named Dominic Thomas who was approved to take a land bank parcel or to purchase a land bank parcel to expand his property. I think this is a better picture of it. It's just a smaller parcel. He is proposing to put a driveway in. Long story short, winter came along. This was approved, I think, in October. He was supposed to close on the property in November, and he didn't. He was under the impression that he wasn't going to do anything at that time. So all this time he was going to do something in April. So he called and asked if he could, extend the deadline to close on the property. So this is all we're asking for, not an additional time period for him to complete the project. He did not close within 30 days of the approval, so that is what we're asking for the extension for. see, yeah, the purchase agreement reflected 12 months from the close date, which never happened. So if this body feels that this is a good project and that we want to afford him the extension to close at a later date than was originally proposed, we could vote for that. My recommendation would be not to extend the completion time because it's almost been a year already, I guess. So we recommend 3 to 6 months after the date of transfer. So if he transfer, let's say in June 1st, we would give him 3 to 6 months, whichever this body wants to do. Of course, there's always the choice to deny as well, but my recommendation is I feel like he's going to follow through and he's excited to do so.
I'll make a motion to extend it for 6 months due to construction issues that I'm well aware of and that's been taking place.
Second.
Okay, does anybody have any questions regarding this request? I know I kind of,
I had a question. Has engineered or approved a curb cut there?
I believe there already is one there, but, oh, no, there's
Looks
not.
to me
I'm sorry,
like
there is
between
not.
those two cars,
There
there's
is
no
not,
curb
you're right.
cut. And usually the engineers have to approve a curb cut,
Okay,
and I just wondered if that has taken place, and you may want to make sure that they're all right with having a curb cut there.
I totally agree. At this,
Yeah.
yeah, when you asked that question, I thought that there was one there, but I don't believe there is one. It might be behind one of those cars, but I will definitely put that into the recommendation. Any other questions or, okay, could we please call the roll then on the motion?
John Orzak,
Yes?
Colleen Gilson,
Yes.
Steve Pajali,
Yes.
Stuart Hastings,
Yes.
Jared Oliver.
Yes.
Okay, he'll be excited to hear that, thank you. Okay, now we're on to new business. This is something that also has been a labor of love. We've been trying to work with Serving Our Seniors to find property that's just right for them for what they propose. So I'll get into the report here. Serving Our Seniors, in partnership with Sandhill Craftsman, has requested to purchase the city-owned lot at 813 North Depot Street. They are proposing to create a pilot program which would provide housing for certain eligibility requirements. One is age, two is wage, they have to be income qualified. But this particular project is proposing a duplex on this property, a front unit and a back unit. So this does back up to Central Street. The city acquired this in August of 2016. It was transferred from the land bank of Erie County after they demolished the residential structure there. So it has been sitting non-productive for that period of time. The parcel currently sits between two houses that are zoned R2F, as this parcel is also zoned that. So two-family residential would be approved for this parcel. I can say that there were a few preliminary meetings with the chief planner, with community development director, and possibly others, and everybody seems to think that this would be a great project to partake. The lot size is 44 by 99. The unimproved parcel is valued at $6,670. Let's see. The recommended purchase price, however, would be the normal $1,500 plus closing cost. This is consistent with the current land bank policies and procedures. Payment in full will be collected at the closing date. We do recommend a local closing agent. We have several within the Sandusky area. And then they can use any attorney that they wish to, do any of the documents and deed preparation. The property is currently tax exempt, and once the parcel is constructed or developed, it will be eligible for the 75% 10-year tax abatement. So basically, at this time, we'd look for either approval or if you have any questions, discussions, or if anyone is not in favor of this program.
Debbie, I'd like the opportunity to address the group. I've had the good fortune of meeting with the folks from Serving Our Seniors and board members, as well as staff, as well as Mr. Olson of Sand Hill Craftsman to talk about this pilot project that I think, Sue, I've been talking with you about since I began in 2022. I had Debbie include in your packet the memorandum of understanding between Serving Our Seniors and Sand Hill Craftsman, as well as the business plan that Mr. Olson came up with when he began talking with Serving Our Seniors about this. We've been really clear about with the folks from Serving Our Seniors that our land bank policy in the past has been to support the building of housing for the purpose of building single-family structures for owner occupancy, and this would be a bit of a departure of that. But because of the need for affordable housing, specifically for seniors, we are willing to bring this today as a recommendation as staff and as the department director for us to consider as a pilot. In speaking with both Sue and Amy, we talked about helping them prove this concept to be able to bring this type of development opportunity to neighboring municipalities and townships so that seniors have options outside of Sandusky as well. So with that, both ladies are here to answer questions if anyone has or staff is happy to answer questions.
I had a few questions, I think, for Ms. Doherty. Just on how this works, when I was looking at the business plan, I wasn't quite sure. The builder would build it and continue to own it, and then Russell Realty would manage the property?
Vacation Land Realty would go through the applications. We have an applications for them to use. Mr. Olson will finance and own the building after he's finished. We will subsidize, and in exchange for that subsidy, we will have a control on the rent. The rent will start out at $800 or $850 a month, depending on occupancy. And then it goes up by the cost of living a year. So, and then we monitor that. Serving Our Seniors monitors that along with Vacation Land. They collect the information.
Okay, I don't know where I got Russell Realty from. But then you would subsidize the cost to build the property, build this project? Okay. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what your role was in this.
Yeah, that's why it's so low, and that'll earn us the right for the monitoring and keeping that to him for 20 years.
And then just a couple of comments on the memorandum of understanding, where it says tenant eligibility and restrictions, visitor may not stay more than 3 consecutive nights. I don't know how you enforce that unless you sit out there and watch. That was always a stickler in the housing code.
He doesn't really live here, so that's our fallback on that.
Yeah, I understand why. I just don't know how you enforce it, but I'm just a comment.
And it's like hoarding too. We really want it, but how do you write in there, please don't be a hoarder?
Yeah, right. You put it in there in case there's a way you can do it. And then the property must be the principal residence of the tenants and cannot be vacated for more than 30 consecutive days unless all parties are notified. Are you just talking about somebody leaving for 30 days?
Hospice care, if somebody goes in long-term and they're.
Okay.
You
And they're
know,
coming back.
when he comes back.
We don't want to subsidize housing for somebody who can afford to go to Florida or Arizona.
Okay.
For 6 months.
And
All right.
then displace somebody
Well,
who needs housing.
that, there again, to enforce that could be difficult because you're going to have to figure out how to make sure that,
Landlord's
yeah, all right.
responsibility.
Yeah.
And then the only other comment I had is under property management oversight. If SOS has probable cause to believe a violation has occurred, an inspection may be conducted within 48 hours of notice. You may want to put 48 hours of written notice. I will defer to Mr. Hastings, but I think everything should be written. If you're going to go into a place, you have to post it with a written notice.
Okay.
Those are my only comments. But other than that, I think it's a good project.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions. I may have misheard you. Did you say 20 years?
I did fail to update that. I did get an email to,
She didn't, that's what it was to begin with, but Sue and I had done some calculations on 60-year-olds and yeah, it would fall off, that demographic bunch leaving the world.
Right now, we're gonna have housing lots after 20 years. Right now,
As someone who may be in that group,
I resemble that demographic, I know. Yeah, the replacement, the supply and demand and the replacement backfilling will be subsequently large enough that it'll be okay after 20 years.
all right, well, the MOU attached here says 30 years.
yeah.
That's what I have, and then Sue and I did another calculation since I had sent that to her and we changed the MOU, because we are keeping that gentleman too restricted.
Right, so it will be 20 years you're going to change this agreement.
Yes, I'm sorry.
And then after 20 years, he can do whatever he wants with it.
Because we figure that there'll be supply enough for the demand that will be there at that time. Because we're having a glut right now of the 60 to 80-year-old demographic moving through the world.
And just for clarity, I'll point out that our Welcome Home Ohio have a 20-year restriction on it as well.
Sue, when do you plan on starting these?
when is the start date?
When do you plan on starting them?
He's going to be getting, he's ready now, he's going to submit proof of financing to us, and then we're going to help him get things started as soon as possible. He would like to get it closed up by October, November, and then work on the insides over the winter.
And should this body approve this today, we are ready to go to City Commission for June 9th. So,
If I could, I'd like to thank everybody that's helped us through this. It's like I'm speaking Swahili and you guys are speaking English. Yeah, and both vice versa. I mean, Colleen has been very, very helpful, and your whole staff has been very, very helpful, because I don't understand everything that's going on, and they've been very patient with me, so thank you very much for that.
Yeah, and I would like to,
And Aaron?
I would like to endorse that comment as well. Everybody's been fantastic to work with, and we went through a myriad of ideas, from EHOBE constructing it to several other things, and finally we found what we think is going to be the solution.
I feel like at one point the solution was going to be Sue and I constructing the house, but I'm really glad with this arrangement.
I'll make a motion to sell this property to Serve-N-Our Seniors.
Second?
okay. And just as a reminder, this will be a pilot program, so hopefully, other communities can jump on board, and we'll be the spearhead of that. So can we please have a roll call of the motion?
Steve Pajali,
Yes.
Stuart Hastings,
Yes.
Jared Oliver,
Yes.
Colleen Gilson,
Yes.
John Orzak.
Yes.
That's wonderful news, wonderful news.
Very, very much.
Just invented something exciting.
So we can, outside of this meeting, we can button everything up, and we can probably be ready to present this at the next commission meeting, not the June 9th commission meeting. Thank you. So we do have a couple of, well, not really a couple of other things. We do not have any parcels that we are looking to acquire, but I was asked at one time at one of the other meetings, to prepare a list of properties that we've sold since 2023. And now I am in a different area. I did hand that out ahead of time to everybody, so you should have that. So. And if we can't get it, I can just read them off. Yeah, my little mouse is working. Okay. So basically, the packets in front of you, we have from 2023, we had a total of 19 sales of property. 10 of those were for new development, and 9 of them were for side lot expansion, and some of those were actually part of the new development that was on top of there for the 2023 sales. 2024, we had 6 sales, property sales. 5 of them were for new development, and 1 of them was a prior mo-to-own property, so that was a side lot expansion. And I can say that we have 2 permits obtained. We have 1941 3rd Street. There is a permit obtained for that. And which one was the other one? 1935 3rd Street. So they're in the same block. Habitat for Humanity has a pushed out deadline because they have so many parcels with us. And I know that 1102 West Market Street is working with their developer. There's a contractor sign in their yard, so I know that they're working with their developer. But for 11 Meg Street, I'm having a hard time getting an answer from them, so we'll see. 2025, now this was the year that we had the influx of Welcome Home Ohio, and Firelands Habitat for Humanity also had a large purchase. So there's a total of 22. 21 of those will be developed for at least 1 single-family unit. Some of them, if you look at the types of sale, some of them have multi-unit or two-family units. And the last parcel at the bottom was just a side lot expansion for one of the parcels above. I did have some pictures as well, but I don't think it's going to make any difference if we can't see them on the screen. I didn't print them for you. I apologize. But that is basically all that I have. I can answer questions on any of these parcels that you see, and I can do whatever I need to do. I can send you pictures, or because I did intend to have photos with a few of these.
I'll just note, thank you, Debbie, for gathering this information. It was actually my request at the last meeting that you provide an update, and certainly is indicative of your efforts and our efforts as a city to promote the land bank and the availability of land for housing development. It's not lost on me that there are a good majority of these that are due to Welcome Home Ohio, but there are folks out there that are building homes, and we're grateful for that. So we'll keep going. We'll keep moving until we have nothing left in the inventory.
Yeah, I'll echo those statements. I mean, it's very good work, and it's also pretty neat to see that there's at least 20 new homes being built in the city, so good job.
Yeah, and there are still some properties out there that Welcome Home Ohio has not closed on, but boy, they're going to be busy soon. So we don't anticipate them to close on these right away, but they just might. But they have a lot going on right now. So, okay, that's honestly all I have, unless anybody has any other topics to discuss or questions.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, the meeting's adjourned. 6:45. Thank you.
Thank you.